Here are the 10 mistakes I made as a full-time YouTuber, and hopefully how you can not make them. Video sponsored by Squarespace. Number one, I've been thinking about a lot. Alex Hormozy recently tweeted it out in a thread, and it really just has stuck with me. And that is, when the work gets easy, go hard. And that is something that I maybe did in the beginning when my channel first really started to grow. I was like going hard. I was riding the wave. I was doubling down. I was doing the stuff that I thought was working. But right around 2019, started 2019, when I stopped daily vlogging, it's not that I really pulled back. I definitely took my foot off the gas pedal a little bit, but I thought I was doing it in a way where it was like, you know, I'm just making less videos. For whatever reason, all of the different facets that came together, I really wasn't applying enough energy. I was relaxing a little bit too much. And yeah, I had just come off a year of daily vlogging. That was very hard and I was kind of resting, but I never really amped it up to the level that I think it should have been amped up to. When it gets easy to do, when you have a formula, when you have a format that's working, don't abandon it. Like, go hard on that. You want to double down on the easy work to really make something continue to explode and flourish for you. Number two, this is tough to say, an obsession with freedom at the detriment of discipline. I am a firm believer that only in discipline can you find true freedom. What I mean by that is, if there's no parameter set, no kind of box for you to operate in, that unlimited quote unquote freedom actually becomes very limiting. And it's part of my personality. I'm what's called an Enneagram 7. I really like options and keeping my options open and like trying to just always seek out the next fun adventure. And as a result, I tend to try to leave my options open as much as possible. But what comes as a result of that is not capitalizing on opportunities, not kind of putting my head down and committing, which is what I had done in the first place with making a daily vlog. Yeah, I think that was one of my biggest failures in 2019, 2020 was just, you know, really valuing freedom. I have such a free schedule. Like, I don't need to work at any time specifically. I need to work, obviously. I need to get stuff done, but like just a lack of discipline, a lack of schedule and routine was one of the biggest mistakes I made as a full-time YouTuber. 3. Shouldn't have made this list so tough to cover. Abandoning all of the healthy habits that got me to that point. Again, this isn't necessarily daily vlogging. I don't think that channel should daily vlog. I don't think that that's like a successful growth strategy on YouTube per se. That's neither here nor there. What I'm saying is the daily healthy habits, editing every single day, ideating, taking notes in my phone as I was working, getting out, being with people, working with other people, the full-time job that I had when I had started, and just all the ideas that come from that, being out and about in the local community. All of the habits that I had kind of cultivated in 2018 as I was growing my channel, and even 2019 to some extent, I started letting those slip by the time 2020 rolled around. Obviously, the world changed in 2020 and you couldn't meet with as many people and you couldn't go out and do stuff as much. So it's not that I'm necessarily like blaming myself for this. It's one of the things that when I look at it, I see that letting some of those healthy habits slip was a mistake that I made. Number 4, my proportion of sponsored content to non-sponsored content got incredibly out of whack. And that is to say, like, when I was daily vlogging, I could do like 4 sponsored videos. I could do 6 sponsored videos in a month and it would still be like 20% or less of the number of videos I created in that month. So like the proportion was in check. In 2020, 2021, and definitely so far in 2022, most of my stuff is sponsored. And not to like I'm incredibly thankful to my sponsors. I love making money this way. I'm not trying to downplay sponsorships. And I could be wrong about this. Like, maybe there's channels out there that every single video is sponsored and they're crushing it as full-time YouTubers. Obviously, they're making money with all of the sponsorships, and that's a big part of what it means to be a full-time YouTuber. But I think that for me, one of the mistakes I made was letting that sponsored to not sponsored kind of ratio get out of whack. Number 5, and this is something that is a mistake, and like we all know it's a mistake, and then we still all just do it anyway, and that's comparing my stuff to other people's stuff. Too much consumption, not enough creation. And You know, when I was daily vlogging, I didn't have much time to watch videos. I would fast forward through videos, I would skip through videos. I was just trying to like be a part of the culture, but not take hours a day consuming stuff because I just had to make so much stuff. It was a very healthy habit to be constantly daily creating. That was awesome. So when I stopped daily creating and I had more time and I started consuming more, it's just very easy to fall into the trap of like, well, I should be making stuff like that. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. And that can be a very paralyzing place to be. So that was a mistake that I made, is just allowing myself to consume too much and then compare as a result of that consumption. This video is sponsored by Squarespace. I've been using Squarespace for over 3 years now. They've been a sponsor of the channel for that long, and it's everything you ever need in an online website creation platform. They got professional looking templates, so you don't need to know how to code, a place to host your portfolio. You can create a shop right in your website so you can sell your products and services right there within the site. Use scheduling to set up appointments and consultations, create a blog, whatever you need to do on your website, you can do it with Squarespace. If you want to try it out, go to squarespace.com/CodyWarner and get a free trial. And then when you're ready to buy, use the code CodyWarner to get 10% off your first purchase. I feel like I'm speaking like Philip DeFranco, and I haven't watched Philip DeFranco in forever, but I'm hearing his voice coming out of my mouth, and that's freaking me out. Number 6, and this is also a result of the world changing in 2020, but not enough collaboration. Not enough highlighting the creators and people that I was consuming on my own channel to try to shine the spotlight on them. Like, I just thrive so much in that space of just finding people that I feel like are underrated and trying to showcase them. Even to this day, it's still one of my main goals, and I still find myself not doing it enough. I was so incredibly grateful when Peter McKinnon like put me on his channel and shone the spotlight on me to all of his audience. And like, even before that, I was very hyped about collaboration and what it could mean with No Small Creator and all that sort of stuff. But like, I really, ever since then, have just tried to kind of carry that baton, and I wish that I would have done that more when I was a full-time video creator, full-time YouTuber. I'll just throw in a little caveat here, like, none of this stuff is over. I'm still making vids on YouTube. Like, yeah, it's not my main source of income or revenue, but I'm still a YouTuber in at least some form. So I can fix all of these things. Like, that's the great thing about YouTube, is like, it's never over. It's not over until you stop. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Number 7, this one always stings. Not taking recurring affiliate marketing seriously enough, like right from the get-go. I'm talking about any affiliate company that is willing to pay a commission in perpetuity as people continue to pay that company. I just should have taken that more seriously from the get-go, and it's almost like retirement. It's like, oh yeah, when you're 20, like, I should save for retirement. But no, you really should. And not financial advice or whatever. Number 8, consistency really fell off in 2020, 2021, 2022. Should have just been making more vids per week, more vids per month, whatever it looks like. It's not that your videos, like, you have to have like this strict schedule or something like that, but just consistently releasing videos is very good for you and very good for your audience. 9, I should have hired a boss. When I became a full-time YouTuber, when that was how I was making all of like the majority of my money, I should have hired a boss for myself who would have forced me to be consistent, who would have forced me to do a number of collaborations, like who would have been checking in on me and being like, hey, Cody, why isn't this happening? And I should have figured out a way to allocate enough money to pay that person, like hire them literally as just a full-time job. A lot of people, their first hire as an editor, I didn't need an editor. I liked editing. What I needed was a boss to make me do my job that I was not forcing myself to do. And number 10 is, and I hate to say that I was even in this place, but just an attitude of like, I'm not sure when it hit, but at some point I started maybe going back to the beginning where it's like, when it gets easy, go hard. When it got easy, I sort of started to think like, yeah, like this is easy. This is my life now. I don't have to go. I deserve all of this. And like, nah, bro. Like this could go away at any moment. And keeping that kind of humility and humble mindset. And I hope I never came across or come across as like entitled. I'm sure that I did though at times, and that was definitely a mistake that I made as a full-time YouTuber. Those are the 10. Hope that was helpful. If you're in this situation, I hope that you nip all these in the bud and stop doing them, and I'll see you in the next video.